Welcome to the revolution. So let's get to it. I mentioned it on the show earlier today. Hashtag free our child. I'm reminding you guys to every once in a while make sure that you're tweeting at or communicating with Marco Rubio on Facebook. We've got his handles there. They're very easy. They're all at Marco Rubio. Please hashtag free our child. Mohammed Ibrahim. He's a kid was out of Florida. He's now in an Israeli gulag. Wouldn't it be amazing if the American Secretary of State cared about Americans? That would be amazing. All right, so Paula wrote in. I'm gonna read a bunch of stuff that you guys wrote in earlier. You could write in now if you got ideas for the revolution, how we're gonna do this, end the corruption. And obviously one step at a time, we're gonna prove it out. So far, one of our biggest wins is that on the bill to lower drug prices, Marjorie Taylor Greene not only co-sponsoring now, she joined on it, but she's starting to push for it publicly. And Ro Khanna went back on the warpath and he's pushing for it on television and other shows that he's going on. So you guys are doing an amazing job. I mean, we resuscitated that bill. He had introduced it and no one was talking about it, and you guys have given it life again. So amazing job. So now, others have written in with other ideas. One of them is Paula. She's concerned about Trump destroying our White House. So I'm gonna have opinions on all of these. So she asked, can we block the permits for him to build the monstrosities of his heart? And the answer is, Paula, I hear you. He didn't get a permit for it. He didn't ask anyone. He just did it. And that's not his house, it's our house. And they said they weren't going to touch the East Wing. They're destroying the entire East Wing. It's unbelievable. But there was a commission that he had to report it to. Not only did he not report it to the commission, he fired the entire commission. Okay, so he's out of control. What did they criticize Michelle Obama for? Because she had a vegetable garden at the White House? Like, you planted something in a garden? And it was healthy? That's a violation of the sanctity of the White House. You know, Trump's like, oh, here's a wreck, like destroys half the White House. And there's nothing we can do about it. But Paula, the bottom line is, there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, I'm being honest. If there's something we could do about it, that's the whole point of this show, right? So you're not wrong to ask. But number two, we're trying to be nonpartisan here. So I hate it. I don't know if our right-wing friends hate it. I don't know if they think it's great, it's bad. I don't know, and I can't speak for them, right? But we're trying to unify around things that we all agree on. So that's why lower drug prices, everyone other than the crooks agree with lower drug prices. Everyone other than pro-Israel radicals think, no, we shouldn't fund a genocide, no matter which country's doing it. Yes, you should release the Epstein files, on and on and on. So, but I'd be curious. I mean, if you're right-wing or an independent and you watch this show about getting our government back from the, as the general we just showed you on the Young Turks, that was on Tucker Carlson's program, said, we're just now ruled by billionaire oligarchs. I love that the right wing has joined the fight. So anyways, if you're one of those that are on the right or the middle, or you're a libertarian, write in and tell me, what do you think about the White House? It's okay if you think it's fine. It's okay if you think it's terrible, right? I'm not judging on that. And I'm being brutally honest with everybody, right? So if we're not united, sorry, we can't do it. We could do it on the Young Turks, right? But we can't do it here on this show where we're trying to bring people together. But I'm just assuming, so I don't want to assume, that's why I asked them to write in. All right, now let's go on to other ideas. So this person is anonymous, and by the way, if you want to be anonymous, great, no problem at all. Make sure that you clarify that, okay? So should TYT consider turning some of your segments into articles? Just a thought, using AI might make it easy to summarize the discussion, then your team could tweak it, and you could publish it as a news article. It's not enough to just put out content on video. I think some news articles are helpful to spread awareness. Articles might be easier for some people to consume and share. Also, other news agencies would hopefully see the content and draw inspiration from that and report on the topic as well. Have viewers send in political cartoons or maybe hire an artist to join TYT. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is a concise and powerful way to get your point across, and these can easily be shared across social media platforms. Well, first of all, I appreciate you looking out for us at Young Turks, and that is an interesting idea. We'll bat around here internally. But in the meanwhile, for this show, the Revolution show, if you guys want to take clips that we're doing here and turn them into articles, you want to take clips from something that we do here, whether it's an interview we do or a segment we do or something amazing that one of you guys did that we're highlighting, and turn that into a clip on Instagram or TikTok or something along those lines, that's beautiful. I love that. And then you had the idea of political cartoons. If people want to start sending in political cartoons and we put it up on tyt.com/hope, or I show it to you here. Or by the way, you create your own website and you aggregate political cartoons or anything else and you send it to us. Super happy to have it. A couple of ways to contact us, as I keep telling you, hope@tyt.com. If you have a specific idea that you need to coordinate with us, hope@tyt.com. And then for discussion of the ideas, we're doing that at tyt.com/ideas, okay? And some of the ideas based on how people have responded have moved on up the list, and we're featuring those at the top. And then you can go into the reply section and have a discussion about those ideas. So let's go to the next one. This is Chris Needs Hope. Well, Chris, you've come to the right place. So to reverse that Game of Thrones line. The idea here is America as a fandom on archive of our own. Okay, so I didn't know about this. This brother turned me on to it. So Chris, let me read your idea to everybody. I should be asleep, he writes, but I had to share something with you because we're all in different time zones. Are you familiar with Archive of Our Own? It's a fanfic site and it's awesome. You can post all kinds of work there, from audio to digital art to original fiction. Usually visitors and creators select a fandom that is already available, but I'm pretty sure that you can create a fandom too. I don't know if site managers will accept it, but they are fair. If the rules allow it, they likely will. But I love the idea of an America fandom. Chris, I'm gonna read the rest in a second, but the minute I read that line, I was like, oh, I get it, because I'd never heard of this site. And I instantly love the idea. Okay, let me give you more from Chris and then we'll discuss. He said, then we can all tap into our creativity for ourselves, each other, and the world. The site has an international audience too. It'd be like showing the world who we are, how we are fighting, and what America means to us despite what our government does or says. People from other countries may reflect us back too. This could be a fantastic opportunity to explore America, the idea, and the country. We would get to see ourselves at our best and our worst. All of it, though, will likely be helpful. If you're on Archive of Our Own, please feel free to try it out. Good night. Okay, so guys, I mean, immediately what's hilarious and goofy is that I thought of like eagles in red, white, and blue. No, but seriously, if we did a fandom of America and on that site built something where we show why we love America, and it doesn't have to be silly and jingoistic like number one. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. What are we number one at? Explain what we're number one at, because by the way, we're number one on a lot of things. We're also not number one on a lot of things, right? So, okay, so I love America for a billion reasons. One is all of the green grass. That might sound funny to you, but I grew up in a big city in Istanbul, Turkey till I was 8 years old. And big cities are a lot of gray. I mean, Istanbul's a gorgeous city, but as a kid, you're living in an apartment building. You're mainly just seeing a city. I come here, green grass as far as the eye can see. The trees are gorgeous. If you've never lived in a place like America, when the trees turn in the northeast in the fall, oh my God. It's amazing. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, what is going on? Why have all the colors changed? When you live in a city that doesn't have those kind of trees in the rest of the world, you don't know that. And then Halloween, I'm like, there's a holiday here where you can get all the candy you want for free? What kind of a miraculous place is this? So yes, that was the view as a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old, etc. But it's true. And by the way, you could put in how much we love the civil rights movement. I mean, look at this. African Americans were not getting the rights that they deserved, and now they are. Now, look, again, we've got a lot of work, but it's okay, guys. You can still, a relationship could need a lot of work, but still be great and still be something that you love. There's a lot of things that you could have a car that needs a lot of work, but you love that car, you've had it for 10, 20 years, and there's good reasons why you love that car. So, and for me, more important than grass and trees, although I am really corny about that, is I'm even more corny about the freedom here. I mean, I'm a guy who needs freedom because knowing my nature, if I'm in an authoritarian state, I'm a goner. I'm not gonna make it past the 20s. I mean, there's no way I make it past the 30s because at some point I'm not gonna bow. And when you don't bow in an authoritarian state, you're gone. And this country allows me to be me and doesn't put me in jail, doesn't deport me yet, and treats me like everyone else. And oh my God, having been born Muslim, I'm an atheist now, I'm on the left. Have I gotten pummeled in 1,000 different ways? Yes, but I'm still standing and I'm still free and you're still watching me. I love America. So, there you go, Bart. Okay. So fun idea. There's no reason why we can't have fun in the middle of a revolution. This is a peaceful one anyway. There's a nonviolent one, so it's a beautiful way of doing it. All right, Justin wrote in, Koklinski always mentions he hopes the lawyers tracking all the illegal things going on for accountability. It would bring me hope to see a tracker and status updates on progress towards accountability. Would offer a few talking points for politicians hoping to get left votes as well. So look, I'm in favor of anything that leads to accountability for our politicians. So we're doing that site that I've been telling you guys about, corruptionwatch.us. And there we're gonna try to track the donor money and the bills and how people vote. And so already that's amazing what we built. It's gonna get a little bit complicated when you try to find the needles in the haystack because there's a lot of symbolic votes in Washington on bills they know are not gonna pass. The ones that matter are the critical ones where they're about to change a law. And then that's where you see the donor effect a lot, right? And I mean like an important law like Obamacare, oil subsidies, things along those lines. So, but in terms of accountability on legal issues, it made me think too, maybe we should have guests on here who, again, not partisan, but who care about corruption and track corruption, like maybe Public Citizen or there's a group that is specifically about corruption in the White House. I'm blanking on their name right now, but they were held Obama and Biden accountable as well. So they're good nonpartisan group, and then we of course maybe get some money in politics groups here, not just Wolfpack, but Represent Us and American Promise and other wonderful groups that are trying to get money out of politics in a nonpartisan way. All right, let's go to Michael's idea, or what they did. Michael said, I tweeted at all the chair member representatives of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, but not the individual members yet. Should I also include them? And he put in a tweet there saying, please join Ro Khanna, Marcy Kaptur, and then the conservatives, Anna Paulina, I always struggle with her name, Andy Biggs, Eli Crane, and now Marjorie Taylor Greene has joined as well on the Global Fairness and Drug Pricing Act. So to answer your question, Michael, first of all, I love that you already did that. Should you tweet at every member of the Progressive Caucus? Of course. Like, there's just no reason not to sign on to this. Look, I asked around and I did find one reason. Someone on the Democratic side said that their staffers said this bill is not comprehensive enough when it comes to disabled people. Oh, brother, no. This is a very simple bill. Like it just, hey, same drug prices as the developing nations. When it's becoming finalized and we're getting towards a vote and you want to introduce an amendment to look out for the disabled, no problem. And then people will vote on that amendment. If they like it, great. If they don't, no, we can't do it. I mean, we want to get democracy back. So no bill is going to be perfect. I mean, I hope folks don't use that as an excuse. And then one of you guys asked, one of the representatives from Michigan, Debbie Dingell, and she said, I have my own bill. Well, there's nothing wrong with having your own bill and co-sponsoring this bill. So keep going, guys, keep going. Ask them politely, there's no reason not to sign on to it. And if they say, it's not perfect, good. That's why God made amendments. Propose an amendment once we get there. But for now, co-sponsor it, let's go, right? All right, pessimistic progressive, ironically, here on Operation Hope a little bit, because that's what this came out of, says, anyway, I love it. and of course I see you all the time in the comment section, said, I've had this idea for a progressive calculator that would allow the user to input some information and the calculator would display how much money would be put back into the user's pockets. Started from an idea combining all progressive policy into a single document, and from what Jenks said in his book about how politicians/corporations are stealing from people. I made a simple spreadsheet with this idea and would love to turn it into a basic website. But I have no idea how to do that. Plus, I'm sure there might be mistakes or other feedback. I contacted the BernieTax.com owner and he said the source code is available. The download to the Excel spreadsheet is here, and he included that. And he's gonna explain phase 2 in a second. He says there's a phase 2 for this idea that would be a bit more difficult, but with the work being done on the corruption website, we might be able to share or use the same data. In addition to the calculator, you could input your zip code and it would display a page showing your current Congress/Senate members and what portions of those progressive policies they support. It would then show the incumbent versus primary challengers that do support those policies, so you could see how voting for someone else could get you those policies and the extra income based on your answers. I picked Sherrod Brown as an example for Ohio if he were to run again, and then he matches up Brown with Marino there, who beat him and is now the current senator from Ohio. Look, on this stuff, guys, so since Revolution is a nonpartisan show, I don't know about a progressive calculator, although if someone does it on their own time as a progressive, I'm thrilled with it. But I like the idea of a calculator. I like the idea of how much these bills cost the average American. So for example, the subsidy one I keep going back to is the oil companies, because it's such a crime. I mean, they're not because I hate oil companies, sure, they create climate change, et cetera, but yeah, we use their gas. No, it's not about that. They're enormously profitable. They don't need the subsidies at all. They're just robbing us. Flat out robbery. So things like that, that's an American calculator. How much are you robbing the American people when you pass a bill like that? And so we could take a budget, we could take the defense budget or the overall budget and do a calculator. Okay, you could say, and some of it has to be some form of judgment on what we need and don't need, but you guys are so creative. Maybe we could find a way. I mean, maybe the voting part's the easiest part, but we could start to vote on, wait, is that a thing that's debatable? Or do we all agree that's obviously a giant waste? And there you cost the average American $117 on that bill alone, and we got nothing out of it, but your donors got this much out of it. That kind of calculator could be super powerful. And then everybody would care, whether you're right or left wing about that. So many wonderful ideas. All right, some people have written in live. I'll do a couple of these, and then we got Bassem Youssef interview coming up at 8:30. Super Platinum Man, Nov 1775 Jim, and Philip Phillips. Thank you for becoming members by hitting the join button. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you so much. William King, I'm going to read these blind. Wrote in and said. I was a determined Democrat until my eyes were open to the equal corruption on both sides by you two, Cenk and Anna. I feel like a more progressive independent if I had to qualify. Love you. Will, thank you, brother. Yeah, I mean, look, I want all the independents to come here because, I'm on the left, and Will, it sounds like you're on the left, but the Democrats don't serve the left. They serve their donors who are look, and the donors are all different, right? The corporations none of them are left wing or liberal or progressive. The foreign governments, none of them are that are giving money to the Democratic politicians. There are some actually individual donors that are wonderful people that are trying to do the right thing, trying to fight off this tsunami of corporate spending, right? So I want to be clear about the different kinds of donors. But overall, for the big giant corporate donors, et cetera, they're not, even if they're quote unquote Democrats, it's not like they're serving the left anyway. And same thing for the Republicans and the right. I mean, they said they were anti-war, they said that they were for America first, and we can go on and on as we did on the show today. And you see, and now all the young conservatives are seeing the same thing we're seeing, which is, wait a minute, they're not doing any of those things. Just like Biden screwed over the left, Trump is screwing over the right because they don't care about us. So in that sense, of course I think it's right to be an independent. And then look for the best candidate with the best policies. Names are just shortcuts. But if the shortcut leads you to the wrong direction, then it doesn't help, it's counterproductive. Will wrote in again, Cenk, look up Loveland, Colorado shelter closing in ACLU. We won the fight to keep the temporary shelter open through the harsh Colorado winter. The city tried to tear it down. Yeah, guys, you don't see the fights that folks win because the mainstream media doesn't want you to see that stuff. And for other reasons, they might think, oh, a positive story is boring, and so we're not gonna cover a positive story. Conflict sells, right, etc. But also, they don't want you to fight the system. They don't want you to fight the status quo. The people at the top are the status quo, and that includes corporate media. So yeah, that's wonderful that you guys had that victory in Colorado. There's a lot of victories at the local level because at the local level, you're closer to the citizens. It's a little bit easier to win by rallying the citizens in your local area in person. So everybody who's ever done that, thank you for looking out for your community and for the idea of America. Well, this one is just funny. Simon Moody's, these are all YouTube members, said Dems should propose a bill to name the ballroom the Epstein Memorial Ballroom. Hey, at least we get to look at something of his. Okay, no one should name anything in the White House after the Epstein. But if you told Trump ahead of time, if you wrecked the East Wing and put in a ballroom, we're gonna name it the Epstein Memorial Ballroom, then he might not have ever done it. But it's too late for that. So he thinks he's gonna call it the Trump Ballroom no matter what he says. And you know that the next Republican president, even if Trump doesn't do it, is gonna do it and be like, oh, I'm gonna name it after Donald Trump. So all about their egos. What does the ballroom have to do with us? No, the ballroom is for the donors. Who's gonna be in the ballroom? American citizens? Are you gonna go into the ballroom? Am I gonna go? No. That's for giant donors to get together and play ass slap football. Oh, did you bribe them? Oh yeah, bam, nice job. Did you? Oh, you bribed them too, bam. What is ass slap football? No one knows, okay? But it's where people get together. And like, it's actually a more polite form of a circle. You get it. Okay, all right. Let me see what else I got here. I'm worried about it. So I'll get to that one in a second. First, Churchy Delanosa says, I love these ideas. They shouldn't limit them to just senators and representatives, but also judges and how they rule. Okay, that's interesting. We're adding to it. TYT.com/ideas. Make sure you're checking it out. 36 Chambers Dragon says, I'm glad that Cenk and TYT are still preaching hope. I guess some need to. I preach reality though. It's not as hunky-dory as Cenk's message, unfortunately. How dare you? No, you gotta be in the reality-based world. I don't think like all of this is going to change within 3 days, right? No, the only way to get to the right answer is to start now and take one step forward and then another and then another. And if it turns out you didn't get there, well, at least you tried, right? That's the worst case scenario. But as you see in the Colorado story, as you've seen in the national level, as you've seen so many times, a lot of times it works. Okay, the one I was mentioned earlier was Embedded Dude. Trump is going to remove the olive branch from the American eagle's talon and is going to replace it with gold. Don't give him ideas. Okay, I'm worried about it. All right, look guys, it's a good idea session. We'll continue to do this. We'll continue to have guests. And we'll try to spice things up with some other segments as well. But I love that you guys are here and fighting for America, fighting for unity, and fighting for actual American citizens. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.